Our Pittsford Pub and Grill Game of the Week is Wayne against Batavia in football. It's at East Rochester at noon today. We're going to talk with Coach Dave Marean from the Wayne Eagles and quarterback Mason Blankenberg, who's coming off a really good game and a really great basketball season in just a second. But I want to tell you about my friends from the Pittsford Pub. If you live on the east side of Rochester, you know about the Pittsford Pub. If you're on the west side, it's worth the drive. Check out their menu, thepittsfordpub.com. It's got a great feel, a great atmosphere, a great environment, great food, and great people. We appreciate their sponsorship and their support of local high school sports. So please support them, the Pittsford Pub. All right, let's first welcome on the junior quarterback of Wayne. He is coming off a winning effort, 24-7 in the opener over Palmyra Mastodon. Mason Blankenberg, a 6'2" junior. Welcome to the show, young man. How do you feel coming off that first game?
Feels good. Football's back.
Football's back. And the cool thing about this, Steve Bradley, is, what do we say, 8-9 days before, you were at Batavia in their gymnasium in a Section 5 Class B1 championship basketball game. The Blue Devils take the lead, 55-54. And I got to ask you about this jumper you hit with 7.8 seconds left to bring a championship to your school. Was that the play they called up in the huddle, or was that some freelancing?
I think it was more of a freelance. I just got the ball and I knew I had to take the shot.
You ever hit a game winner like that before?
No, I haven't.
Pretty good timing. Steve, this kid is the definition of multi-sport athletes. He even played a little bit of soccer for last fall. So, Coach Marean, when did you first see this young man, and did you know then that he could probably be under center for me one day?
Well, unique story. Back when he was on C team, I was coaching the youth Hilton program. My son and him are in the same grade, and I was competing against them, knowing that that's probably my future. And his dad, Mark, and I went to high school together, and I had coached his older brother, Logan. And I'm always looking when it comes to quarterbacks, because I'm a big believer. If you don't take care of your quarterback, it would be just like a baseball coach not taking care of a pitcher in the offseason. You've got to prepare. So we've always started quarterback academies. I'm not a short-term guy. I'm kind of looking long-term each year. And he showed me some great things in that game, and kind of things progressed. And his character speaks what you want in a quarterback. You want a guy that people want to follow and want to be led by, and he does everything that we ask him and then some. And he's kind of an extension of a coaching staff. So it's exciting to have someone like him in our program, and knowing that not only this year but also next year have him.
So Batavia, guys, is coming off a 36-12 win over Bishop Kearney, Rochester Prep, Rochester Academy Charter School, 36-12. They're 1-0. Their Section 5 football pedigree, very well known, a bunch of Section 5 championships. Mason, when you know a big time program is coming in like that, how much does that help you focus during the week, knowing the challenge that you and your teammates are going to be facing?
I think it just sets the edge from the beginning. It just gotta, from day one on Monday, you gotta be able to practice as hard as you can, watch as much film on them and get to know them as much as possible. So then we're prepared for the game on Saturday.
Go back,
Coach Marean.
Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more specific about the Blue Devils, if we can, Coach. They're famous for a lot of things, quick starts, and they've got a tailback, Therese Smith, who's been around, had over 120 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. What are your keys to the game as you get ready for kickoff today at noon?
I think the biggest thing is weathering the storm in the first quarter, and make sure and we're matching their physicality. That's one of the things we talked about in practice all week, is being physical from the get-go, and trying to corral Therese Smith. You're not going to stop him. You just hope you can slow him down a little bit, and make sure that every possession we have offensively, we do what we need to do to put as many points on the board as possible to take the pressure off our defense.
Let's go back to last week for you guys in the opener. 24-0. They get a touchdown late. But Mason, you were 7 of 16 through the air, 94 yards. You rushed 5 times for 50 yards. A couple drops by your guys. How difficult was it for you to be away from the team? I know you went to a couple practices, right? What were you able to do when you were playing basketball? Did you put the pads on and actually practice football, or did you just go and run through some drills with your guys when you were still playing basketball?
I didn't put any pads on, but I was watching there on the sideline, just, going through some plays, looking through the reads, and helping out the younger quarterbacks.
But you really sounds like a student of the game. Is that something you've always been that way, or is that something, when I'm the quarterback, I got to know what everybody's not doing, not just me?
I think a little bit of both. I love learning more, and being quarterback, I got to know every position, every assignment, and I love getting better every single day.
Mason also rushed for 2 touchdowns, Jeff. So among the 5 carries for 47 yards, he scored twice. Dylan Vance, 13.
They're probably just sneaks. He's 6'2". Were they sneaks?
No, they were scrambles.
Okay, all right. I take it all back.
You ruined my setup, though, bro. Dylan Vance, 13 carries, 84 yards, a touchdown. Dave, just the mentality of a multi-sport athlete and Mason's ability to stay calm under pressure. I know that you were very pleased that your team was able to score early and set the tone. But when you have somebody leading your team that is able to adjust and react with maintaining their poise, how does that lift up the team?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, the 3 C's is what Mason's all about: calm, cool, and collective. He wants to be better every day, and that's what makes everything come together on game day. In a normal season, we would have another additional 12 to 14 practices because of double sessions. We would have spring camp. We would have team camp. We didn't have any of those things. And to try to learn that as a whole, and then to try to do that when you're starting quarterback's not physically going through every rep is a challenge. And he was ready. We had talked about it early in the week. My number one concern for him and the other basketball, we had eight guys in the basketball team coming over, was making sure that these guys were physically healthy and mentally healthy. I love to win and I hate to lose, but I'm not going to put a young man in that position to set him up for failure. And we had talked about it, and about Wednesday or Thursday, we knew that Mason, along with those guys, were ready. And because they spent the time off the field, just getting into the film room and communicating with Coach Scott Briggs, my offense coordinator, on what they missed and watching film. And Mason's correct. He is a complete student of the game. He is a definition of what a sponge is when it comes to a player. He just wants to absorb as much as possible.
Steve and I have talked to a lot of players in the last few months about taking care of their bodies, being athletes again and being active again. Mason, what types of things did you do to make sure your body was ready? You sound like you'd be the type of kid that does follow it to the letter. I'm sure some of the kids are on the Zoom with us or on the radio saying, "Oh yeah, I got better rest and all that." But you sound like the type of guy that probably did certainly do it. What did you make any modifications in your diet, sleep schedule, anything like that?
Yes. So I was very consistent with my diet, trying to get as much protein as I could and eating all vegetables and everything, drinking a lot of water. I also try to stretch at least once a day, if not twice. And then once or twice a week, I'd be going to the chiropractor, getting, again, stretched out and feeling a lot better.
Hey, who are some of the other Eagles to keep an eye on this afternoon? We've talked a lot about Mason and we mentioned Dylan Vance, but who are some other guys that you could foresee having a big impact on this game?
Yeah, from an offense standpoint, we have Andy Hamill, senior tailback, with us. We also have a couple freshmen that we pulled up that had some big catches. Michael Prentice and Alex Garrow will be out there. Josh Harrison, another receiver for us. Jack Wright, a senior who plays H-back/fullback. And then our line across the board with Devin Forrest and Austin Emmerich, who's actually a transfer from Oklahoma. Will Seymour, Jake Johnson, Nate Michelle. I don't know, am I missing anybody there, Mason? I think we covered a lot of guys there.
Noah Sikorsky.
Thank you. Noah I'd be in trouble. That's why I had to go. I'm old. I can't remember. So I set him up. I knew we were missing Noah. I just want to make sure he knew all his linemen because those are the most important pieces for him.
And you got a pretty good kicker too, Alec Reynolds, with a 39-yard field goal in the opener. Has that kid been coming on for you? Is he new, or has he been your kicker for a while?
He's been our kicker. Last year we brought him up in sectionals. We wanted to make sure that he was set up for success. So he's a universal athlete. So we felt like he could get a lot more reps on the field than just a kicker last year. And right now he's probably ranked in the top 5 in the state as a kicker. And I'm excited that he's only a 10th grader.
The coach just talked, Mason, about not, being older and forgetting things. Watch this. You said you lost 2 title games in your football career, coaching. Since 2004, head coach. We're talking about 17, 18 seasons here. You lost twice in a championship game. Who'd you lose to, and do you remember the scores?
2013 Livonia, 2018 Batavia. I didn't want to talk about the scores. No.
Well, that means he remembers them. Well, you got obviously a grudge match here with these guys, and you've got some revenge on your side, Wayne Eagles. They've got some revenge on their side, considering you went into their gym and took your 16 points per game and 8 rebounds per game and 5 assists, and you beat them on their own floor. What was that moment like for you? I mean, I know it's a program that's won 3 titles in 5 years, Wayne, but to win it in that fashion, Mason, what was that feeling like to hit the game-winning shot in sectional?
It was amazing. I mean, all that hard work we put in as a team, it felt all the emotions rushed as soon as that shot hit. I mean, as soon as the buzzer went off, and just being in that gym in these circumstances that we've been through just made it that much better.
I know you're a big picture guy. You work with the combines and growing kids, growing the game. This season, 6-game sprint and only 4 teams make sectionals. What does Class B look like beyond Batavia and Wayne?
It's really, it's kind of up in the air. I got a chance to get every single film on every single Class B school. So I think we had talked about earlier, it's like the NFL ticket for high school football. And I could see all the games, and I kind of looked at some you try not to look ahead, but I think it's up. I think it really is up in the air. I think every game is going to be a battle. And my focus right now is looking forward to Batavia. I'm excited about the opportunity and the challenge.
Well, it's noon today. It's at East Rochester on the turf because there's a grass field out in Wayne, and we're not going to get muddy yet. But it should be a great game. It's our Pittsford Pub and Grill Game of the Week. Thanks to Pittsford Pub for being our sponsor of that. And thanks to the Wayne Eagles, Coach Dave Marean. First, thank you for being on, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate your support.
Mason, be careful, young man. You got some Blue Devils on your tail on Saturday, all right?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Wayne Eagles here. It's the College and Affairs High School Sports Show brought to you by Salvatore's Pizza. We'll take our first break, come back and talk more with you right here on Fox Sports 1280.